Hey everyone, this is Patrick, and it is time for another edition of Heavy Therapy. This is a first impressions edition where I go over new releases that just came out, and I give you my first impressions from a scale of 1 to 10. I have 4 releases to talk about this week. Let's begin. First up is a London, England-based death metal band. This is Anoxide with Morals and Dogma. This is out digitally on Ghastly Music. You get 9 tracks and almost 49 minutes of music. This band has been around since 2012, but this is their first full-length album. And this is a pretty good debut album. There are lots of bands that come up to my mind while I am listening to this band in terms of their overall sound. The band themselves on their Bandcamp reference Gojira, Opeth, and Meshuggah. Kind of makes sense to me. I also hear bands. I hear Behemoth, I hear Dying Fetus, I hear Cognitive, and I hear Sulfur Aeon, and even a little bit of melodic death metal as well. So for some, that will be too many different styles trying to kind of compete for attention here. For others, it will be a diverse listen. I'm somewhere in the middle here. I do think this is a good debut album. I don't love the more sort of higher shrieking type of vocal that comes in here throughout the album. Overall, I'm giving this album a 7.5 out of 10. Cool album art, by the way. It kind of reminds me of that Disgraced Grey Misery album from Finland from the 90s. Okay, so check out Anoxide if you're in the business for some, if you're in the mood for some new modern death metal. Next up is a black metal release. This is Nadra Within the Name of the Goddess. This is a US-based project. This is the second LP. The first LP came out last year. I have yet to listen to the debut album, so I can't really compare this new release with the previous release. You get 8 minutes and 50 minutes of music, and this reminds me of Theophanos. It reminds me of... So, yeah, overall you get black metal, raw black metal, dissonant black metal. But I also hear... So in the vocals, the vocal approach actually kind of reminds me of Greg Puciato of the Dillinger Escape Plan, but which normally would be an asset for me, but it kind of is not an asset for me on this album at least. But a very well done black metal album for sure. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10, but definitely check out Nadra in the Name of the Goddess. Next up is, so I'm going to end with 2 albums that I really, really liked from this week. First is probably the biggest underground release of the week, and it is Fulci with Duck Face Killings. Fulci is a brutal death metal band, a horror film inspired band out of Italy. That's where they get their name Fulci from. It is from the Italian horror filmmaker. This is their first release on 20 Buck Spin. It is 14 tracks, almost 33 minutes of music, and I'm going to consider this their 4th full-length album, even though their studio sessions from More Sound last year is considered a full-length on the archives. It's not new material. This is their 4th full-length material. It is also their first release with a full-time drummer, and that is Eduardo Nicoloso, I believe. Yeah. I really like what Fulci did here. The sound, again, is sort of early 90s Cannibal Corpse meets Undeath, meets Suffocation, Gojira a little bit. That's what you're going to get musically. It is as soon as you hit start on the album, there's not really that many moments of respite, even though there are interludes. Some of the more interesting elements on this album is there is a track that features a rapper named Lord Goat from Nonfiction. There is some synth work, and at the last track is an instrumental that even includes these, a sort of jazzy sounding horn section that works really well. Overall, I'm giving Fulci Duck Face Killings an 8 out of 10. Okay, up next is Oxygen Destroyer with Guardian of the Universe. This is out on Redefining Darkness. 9 tracks, 33.5 minutes of music. This band has been around since 2014. They are from the Pacific Northwest of the United States, I think Portland, Oregon. Again, band's been around for 10 years, but they only have 3 full-length releases. They seem to improve every release, in my opinion. They're a 4-person band. Oxygen Destroyer, in my brain, I had them categorized as more of an HM2 drenched death metal band. To me, this album is more like a blackened, almost just like a black metal project to me. I hear a lot of Marduk. I hear Demiser, so black and thrash. I hear early Creator. Hear some Slayer in here. But there are plenty of moments that still sound like death metal, but overall, I kind of really hear this and classify this more as a black and thrash or just straight up black metal band. I really dig what Oxygen Destroyer is doing on this. I just listened to it for the second time. I like the doomier moments. I like the shredding. I like the different tempos and rhythms that they give you throughout. It's thematic, so it is about the giant turtle Gamera. The name itself is, of course, named after the only device that has ever killed Godzilla. So yeah, they are a monster-themed death metal band, and this kicks ass. I'm going to give this one an 8.4 out of 10. Those are the extreme metal releases that I listened to from this week so far. What did you think about these releases? What else that came out this past Friday do you think that I should check out? Thanks for watching. Talk to you all soon, and remember to stay heavy. Bye.